embedding gender responsive and inclusive practices. We do also focus on supporting alternative and comparative teaching and learning approaches. We also focus on upgrading the teacher training college environment. Yeah, we are in the process of constructing classrooms with the support of one and the government. Construction of classrooms, improving the wash facilities, and also installation of solar. Solar will help in the lighting of the colleges and also in supporting the labs or the computer labs in these colleges. For the wash facilities, we are looking forward to harvesting water harvesting from the roofs, and also installing water tanks of capacity of 10,000 liters as far as the wash is concerned, and also the toilets, of course, the construction of toilet facilities. The milestones that we have had so far are retooling of teacher educators from CBC. CBC means curriculum, competence-based curriculum, competence-based assessment, and ICT integration, and strengthen functional linkages between the teacher training colleges and the practical schools. That is under Kenya Primary Education Equity Learning Program. We also are collaborating with Zizi Afrique, formerly Zizi Afrique, but currently rebranded to Zizi Edu Africa, to strengthen competence-based teacher education through focus on life skills and values, value education, and scaling up the pilot to teacher education, scaling up pilot teacher education modules in TTC. We have been collaborating with Zizi Africa on development of modules in Eregi and Machakos teachers training colleges, and we look forward to scaling it up to other teacher training colleges in the country. The milestones, again, strengthening teacher professional development and mentorship. STPDM in Kenya, led by Kibabii University, targeting 7 teacher training colleges and 35 primary schools. Our next presenter, Professor Maio from Kibabii, to talk about that. Okay, objectives: enhance teacher capacities through innovative pedagogy, integrate ICT tools and gender equality and social inclusion principles for inclusive education. We promote teacher well-being and professional identity, and also we aim to increase women's participation in leadership and decision making. We also focus on development of teacher education policies to guide both pre-service and service. Selection of pre-service teacher trainees and beyond certificate holders for upgrade. That is what we are also focusing on. We also focus on disbursement of funds to the teacher training colleges, public teacher training colleges, which is done quarterly. We also monitor teacher training programs. The impact, okay, each focus area has a corresponding impact. I should have read that. So for the development of teacher education policies, we hope to impact in enhanced pre-service and service training. For selection of placement of pre-service trainees, that one will enhance quality of teaching and learning. Implementation challenges for crucial and way forward. The challenges: we have inadequate infrastructure to support CBTE and TPD. Actually, amending my time is up. Just one second. We have limited opportunity systems and continuous retooling of skilled teacher educators. Inadequate skilled mentorship, coaching, and professional support. Challenges in social education reforms, innovations, partnerships over the long term. Conclusion: teacher professional development are central to CB competence-based educational reforms that are evidence-driven critical for policy, population, ICT, infrastructure and digital learning and assessment. We also ask how to institutionalize mentorship and coaching systems in teacher preparation, and we hope to enhance collaboration among government, TDCs and development partners. And lastly, we hope to scale successful pilot initiatives. Thank you so much.
Strengthening teacher professional development and mentorship in Tanzania, Kenya, and South Sudan. And I'll ask the members that let's keep reflecting, remembering that we are looking at evidence and how it can inform policy. So as the previous presenters are making their presentation, I think the key question would be, what gaps are we seeing? What is the place of evidence in these areas as we hear from the policy makers and also from the researchers? So let's keep reflecting, and we'll give you an opportunity to give us your views.
Thank you so much, Mary. Members, good morning. So I just want to take you through the research that we have done. And this was supported by IDFC. The title of our research is Strengthening Teacher Professional Development and Mentorship. And we are doing it in 3 countries. We have done it in Tanzania, Kenya, and South Sudan. And the project for 30 months, research initiative, which began in July 2024, and we hope to complete it at 1st December 2026. So in this particular project, we were targeting 21 teacher colleges. We had 7 from Tanzania, 7 in Kenya, and 7 in South Sudan. And more than that, we have been able to target 1 or 5 primary schools, and in each country we are targeting 35 primary schools. So in Kenya, we focus in Bungoma County, we have Kakamega County, Busia County, and Siaya County, and Vihiga County. So our focus was to look at the schools which those colleges are situated. Our focus on this particular research was to look at mathematics, science, and life skills, which are the key subject, using the CIMS approach while integrating ICT plus GESI component. Our funder is International Development Research Center IDRC of Canada through the Global Partnership for Education. Our implementers, we have Kibabi University, where I work for, and then also we have Dar es Salaam University College, which is a college that offers education, and then we have Elmitas, which is an NGO in Tanzania, and also we have University of Juba, which is South Sudan. Our actors responsible, we have been working with the ministry, which are responsible. We have worked closely with the TSC, we have worked closely with the quality assurance officers, and also we have been working with the target schools and also the communities. I will maybe very fast look at the rationale, and all of us will agree that as we discussed yesterday, that key teachers are key determinants of quality for sustainable development, because we cannot be talking about achieving much in the new education system if teachers are not empowered, if teachers are not listened to, if we don't take cognizance of the challenges that teachers are facing. So out of that, we are more focusing about limited teacher professional development and mentorship for in-service teachers in developing context, because we realize that when teachers leave the university or maybe the colleges, after their limited mentorship in terms of assisting them to understand how they can deliver and also how they can give their services in a better way. So in that, we also say that the school is proven to be effective as a form of professional development and mentorship. We have realized that when teachers are trained while they are in school and supported while they are doing their work, we find that is quite effective and also to improve the teacher competency. So the project Adapt the Scale Up School-Based In-Service Teacher Training. And we have done this also, the initial project we did it in secondary schools, and then also we have done it in primary school. So the SEET is a practice-based teacher mentorship and support approach that involve training mentor teachers to coach and mentor fellow teachers through peer learning, exchange, model lessons, and also team teaching. So this is the model, and we emphasize about 9 elements. We emphasize about practice-based learning, where teacher has to practice and learners have to be active. We also emphasize the local materials and teaching aids. I know quite often in the new CBC, there are a lot of teaching aids that a teacher will wish to demonstrate. So we emphasize that teacher has to ensure that they are using the locally available materials as one way of saving costs for the government. Then also we emphasize teach students' participation, that students have to be active. Of course, as we talk about new education activity, the student is at the center stage as compared to the other education system. Then also we emphasize about team teaching with the model lesson. We realize that we want to support the schools, and we realize that teaching works with another teacher. But hardly do we sit together, compare notes, and also maybe plan together. So in this particular model, we emphasize that as teachers in specific area of specialization, they have to work together. And any given time that they have also to be in a class with another teacher. Then also we emphasize peer learning groups, that is teachers and students have to learn from each other, and that is what we have been able to emphasize. And more than that, we emphasize improve student health and also school environment. On students' health, we have been emphasizing about cleanliness and also the use of soap for our cars. So we have a way that we can prepare that. We have done that, and I think we have been able to register that particular information. And then also the school environment has to be good and speak about the maths, speak about science, and speak about life skills. That is about mathematization of the school environment. Then also in the school, we also have what we call the SEET team. So the teachers who are trained form the team, and they are able also to bring on board the other teachers, because we are not able to train all the teachers, but we are focusing on 4 teachers plus the principal in every school. So that form what we call the SEET team. Then those teachers plus the principal will be able to train the other teachers as they bring them on board to understand our emphasis of our research. So our goal is there, specific objective include knowledge generation, how to scale the impact of a proven innovative approach to enhance teacher professional development and mentorship, capacity strengthening to education stakeholders, apply knowledge and innovation to improve professional development and mentorship. Then also we have 3, which is knowledge mobilization, evidence to improve policy and practice in the education system. Then also number 4 objective was to strengthen gender equality, inclusion through enabling women to achieve. So I will go to specific to the achievement, what we want to achieve as we have been rolling out this particular project. The first achievement is enhanced teaching practice, such as team teaching, peer learning, learning expression, and use of local materials, leading to improve more engagement and participatory classrooms. As we started the process, it was very difficult for the teachers to accept to come together, but as we move forward, we have realized that they have been able to do that, and we can say that we have results. One of the also achievement is improved learner performance. In our midterm evaluation showed a measurable improvement in learning outcomes, and more particular in mathematics. That more students have been able to improve in that particular subject. And the first part of it, what we did in that particular part was to work on the attitude of the teacher and the attitude of the student. Because science is for specific people. Then also the teacher will believe that I'm the best teacher. Then so the time is going. So I moved to the positive learner attitudes we have said, and then mathematization of the school environment, ensuring that the environment speak about the subject. Some of the achievement also is that training teacher in life skills and entrepreneurship lead to introduction of income-generating activities in some of the schools, which will be saying that students and teachers have been able to do well in the school. I will maybe show this the project efficiency, what we have been able to evaluate, and we realize that the project achieved more because of the problems solving around the constraints and the teacher shortages. Then I will skip this one because of the time. Key lessons that we have learned. Number one, effectiveness of practice-based and collaborative pedagogy. We realize that when we emphasize peer learning, team teaching, and student participation, significantly improve the teacher competency and student engagement. We also realize improve teaching practices and learner outcomes. You can see what these are the photos we took from different schools, what the schools is doing, and how they are going to mathematize and improve their environment. I will, as I come to the end, the policy decisions. There is need to mainstream structured school-based teacher mentorship programs within the education system and promote the use of local resources by encouraging schools teachers to incorporate locally available materials so as to make learning more relevant, cost-effective, and sustainable. A key message for ACTEC is active involvement of students in lesson fosters confidence, curiosity, and a better outcomes in terms of academic. Then also in terms of the competency to adopt innovative method directly improving learning outcomes. And then the very last one, documented improvement in learner attitudes and performance demonstrate clear value for investment in teacher mentorship. So that's what maybe we can pick up that we have to continue working on the learner attitude and also the teacher attitude so that we can improve our learning outcomes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof, for that presentation. And I think some of us who are from around know that sometimes we even award teachers for performance of the learners. So in that case, the team teaching becomes difficult, and I hope this is something that we have evidence now that it works, it improves learning as we underscore collaborative pedagogy. Thank you so much. So we are going to go to the next presentation. We want to have somebody from Aga Khan. Is it Foundation? Aga Khan University. Unfortunately, we are not going to have the person for some reasons. But we are going to now hear the civil society perspective, hearing from Rally. Rally is an organization that brings together quite a number of civil society members. So we want to hear what they have, and I think this is being collaboratively done with Elietu, because I can also see Elietu here. So I don't know how we plan to do it. You have very little time, so please look at how to use that time as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary. good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Mwanje. I am the Kenya Country Lead for the Regional Education Learning Initiative. And this morning I'll share a little bit about how Rally is convening partners working in the education sector in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, and share a little bit on what we have learned when it comes to teacher policy, professional development, and mentorship. Because as we are, here I have 3 gadgets with me, just an illustration. I have this, and I have a laptop. If I gave this to someone who's never held any of these gadgets before, it would be hard for them to operate these gadgets. However amazing with the technology, if there's no power, if they don't have the passwords, if there's no internet, these gadgets will be useless to them. And in many ways, this is what happens to the teachers. They are expected to implement curriculums, they're expected to implement policies, they're expected to design very excellent assessments in the classroom, but then they were not prepared, they were not mentored, and they don't receive ongoing support to be able to execute various aspects of these curriculums in the classroom. So what do we do as system actors, as civil society and the government to ensure that this is being addressed, and what trickles down is improved learning outcomes? Because a happy teacher equals to a happy learner. So I'll just take you quickly through the slides I have. Rally Africa is a member-driven regional network, and we really work in advancing equitable and quality education in East Africa. We have a total of 71 members from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, and Kenya has 29 members. And you can see from the list there, the Action Foundation, the Africa Education Trust, and some of them are here. They'll be sharing. We have Usawa Agenda, Mrs. Elimu Africa, we have Educate, Jesse, and we'll be sharing some of the work that these members have been able to do. In terms of our core focus areas, teacher development and learner-centered teaching is key, and that's why we have some contributions to the topic of discussion today. We also have equity and inclusion, we have values and life skills, accountability, and I am glad that Professor Mayo and Director Yusuf have spoken to these aspects, and Director Yusuf is a great friend of Rally. He's been part of our convenings as we support the Teacher Education Directorate in Kenya. So when we come to how we approach our work, we really try to ensure that we are strengthening the organizations for systems change. And through the members that I have listed, we have Dignitars Project, we have the Global Schools and Communities Initiative, the Aga Khan Academies, the Pursue CBO working in Kakamega County, and together we support the Teacher Education Directorate in terms of teacher mentorship, in terms of teacher coaching, in terms of understanding what will it take to ensure that teachers are well prepared, especially the in-service teachers, to implement the competency-based education, putting in mind all the competencies and values that have been put together. Mrs. Elimu Africa has been part of developing the value-based education framework that is now being deployed in various schools, and also carrying out the teacher training support. You had Director Yusuf mention that, and we also have evidence generation, because any intervention has to be backed by evidence, and this way you're able to understand what exactly you're dealing with on the ground, and not really implementing based on what we feel would be the needs in the community, but we are working from an evidence-based perspective. And the other bit is engaging in collaborative policy influencing. When you've understood the needs and you have evidence from research, one of our members in the Equity and Inclusion cluster will be sharing a letter about gender, and they really carry out a lot of research and assessment in all the 47 counties in Kenya, Usawa Gender, and that data, we use it to trickle down into what aspects of support can we offer to the various directorates and departments at the ministry to support policy change, to support policy implementation. Because when these policies are put together and they are not implemented, somehow, some way, the system will still struggle to deliver the transformation and the reforms we hope to see. And what have we seen when it comes to supporting the schools and the communities? What do teachers need? And I'm glad that through the KICS program that is being done by Kibabii University, as Professor Mayo presented, we need continuous teacher coaching. We also need practical classroom mentorship. We also need peer learning spaces and teacher well-being support. And also inclusion. Yesterday there was a whole conversation around special needs education and what needs to be put in place for teachers who handle the learners with special needs, so that there's specificity in terms of how you handle the learners with visual impairment, how you handle the learners with hearing impairment, intellectual disabilities, and all aspects that come with special needs in education. What has the civil society and us as really through our members been able to see happening? We have a lot of local innovation and piloting through what our members are doing through the Dignitas project work with the coaching of the school leadership in Isiolo, Kajiado, and Bungoma counties. Then we also have community-based support. And when it comes to the community, it means the parents also need to understand the bulk of the work that the teachers handle. Half the time, when the community itself and the school ecosystem does not understand what happens, parents tend to say it's a teacher's problem. But then when there's collaboration in terms of how learning is delivered, it eases the burden on the teacher, and this means that work is done well. Then we still need a lot more evidence generation, and then context-responsive solutions, and last mile engagement. And just through discussions recently, last week, one of our members was celebrating 15 years of supporting mental health well-being, the Basic Needs, Basic Rights Kenya, and looking at the counties where we work and the aspects of mental health well-being for the learner and the teacher come in, and you realize in most of these counties that are on the margin or in the arid and semi-arid lands in this country, they are not really rich, but then they really experience adverse conditions to even deliver learning. So how do we ensure we are bringing them on board and supporting with interventions that really ensure the teacher is ready and in the right headspace to be in the classroom? And I'm glad our partners at UNICEF are here. We are working with them on values and life skills and mental health well-being in Isiolo, Turkana, Wajir, and Kajiado counties, to ensure that we are supporting teachers who are otherwise left behind and might not understand the aspects of life skills and values as a whole. I have 2 minutes, but then just a few aspects of what evidence is existing in terms of the non-formal schools. We have a lot of inconsistency on learning outcomes, high teacher turnover and insecure employment. This is something that was also mentioned yesterday. And this is being done by Pursue, one of our members that is based in Kakamega and working in the Butere and Kakamega regions. And just looking at priorities as per what also the Aga Khan Academy is one of our members, their professional development center. They mentioned that educators need continuous professional development to ensure that what they are being taught is not just being done in one session of a 2-day workshop and it's forgotten. The continuous professional development is really key to ensure that whatever they are learning is not forgotten. And the priority actions for the government and partners would be
including non-formal schools in the, and being consistent and intentional for plans and support and distribution of learning resources, and also allowing the school teachers to access their teacher professional development materials. That means the non-formal and informal sector, all of them should be able to access the materials. I think the next slide should be showing the lessons. Mentorship is improving teacher confidence and classroom practice. This was mentioned by my preceding presenters. Communities of practice, school-based coaching, adopting teacher reforms, teacher well-being and how it directly affects learner engagement and learner outcomes. Contextualized support really matters, then continuous support and implementation, which includes continuous professional development. My time is up, but I'll just look at the priority recommendations that we have. And institutionalizing mentorship is one of them. I know the Teachers Service Commission has developed the policy framework, but let's work together to see to it that the practice aspect of it is actually happening. Strengthening communities of practice. Through RELI, we have member-led peer learning activities where members from Nairobi, implementing in Nairobi, would go to Isiolo, would go to Kilifi, and just see what is happening in those regions. So let's strengthen these kinds of cross-school collaboration, then prioritizing teacher well-being, that is the mental health and psychosocial support, and also social emotional learning. When we do it for the learners, let's also do it for the teachers. We're co-creating solutions with teachers, because this way you will address the needs that they have as opposed to what we feel would be the challenges they're experiencing. And then scaling aspects that are working. I'm glad to say that in this time in 2026, we are happy to say that there's a lot more growth in terms of how the civil society, the government, and the research partners are working together from the academia sector, and that should continue. And then getting sustainable financing pathways, localizing professional development so that we are supporting those in the marginalized context. And as RELI, we are committed to continuing to support the various directorates, to continue supporting the government, and working together with the researchers to ensure that we are gathering the data and evidence that exists, and also ensuring we are getting down to the implementation. We were reminded that our interventions need to be agile. So we are looking forward to the collaboration we can do for the teacher of this country, because a happy teacher equals to a happy learner and equals to improved learning outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you. A round of appreciation to Sheila. We can see there is a wealth of evidence that has been generated by that consortium. Joseph, we give you 3 minutes. Yes. To highlight, maybe you can just focus more on highlighting the areas of focus for this session.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going then to give just a perspective with regards to the civil society as how we look at the component of evidence, including evidence regarding teacher professional development and mentorship. Now, to the civil society, evidence is very, very important. Now, it is important because of the fact that we use it to complement the efforts of the state and also to hold the state to account. As presentations that have been here have demonstrated, the civil society in its entirety is both a consumer and a generator of evidence. Now, the civil society, we appreciate when we are having dialogue processes led by evidence. When the government makes a presentation and says that it has constructed 26,000 classrooms, about 34,000 learners have benefited from scholarship schemes, but also makes the observation that it has had challenges with regards to several matters, like yesterday being told that there are challenges with regard to the boy child. We are excited about that kind of engagement. But there are two things I want to make with regards to evidence. Point number one is the politics around evidence. To whose interest is that evidence being collected? That one is very, very, very crucial. And that's the reason why yesterday I was very appreciative of the contribution to the effect that let us engage, let us consult, let us agree on what evidence to pursue. I loved the presentation by Dr. Ndamburi, whereby he was saying, okay, you guys, we require evidence in these areas. So the politics of evidence, who does it serve? A very critical question. The second question that I want to bring into focus is the issue of just how much evidence can we accumulate. Let us not overdo the search for evidence. One of the critical challenges that we have today is the question of the girl child. And the question of the boy child and the girl child comes around, in my perspective, as a result of overdoing the preponderance of evidence on the girl child. And the issue here is intervention follows evidence. We have accumulated a lot of evidence on the girl child, and every other person has gone out there to intervene until at the moment the boy child is at risk. I've only been given 3 minutes. I want to stop there. I wanted to speak a lot, but maybe another day. Thank you so much.
Thank you for highlighting that. We do not have much time for reflection. Now, there is a code that had been shared, but we have noted there is a bit of a correction. I think the word professional has not been well stated, so Ernest will correct, and then we reshare the code again, so that you can give us because we know most of us here, we have our views on this matter, and because we cannot be able to give everyone time to give us a presentation, please respond to those questions on the QR code. We are asking, in your view, what are the existing gaps? What would you propose as ways of filling that gap, so that we can be able to pick the minds of everyone? So please, because I will not be able to go into plenary and pick your views, make sure you respond to that QR code as it is corrected by Ernest. And with that, I also want to recognize we've been joined by some people, those who are not there as people are introducing themselves, and you are not with us yesterday. Please stand up before I hand over. Kuna watu wananiangalia vibaya hapa. Okay, so we have a team from UNESCO.
Good morning. My name is Virginia Dekeda. I work with UNESCO Regional Office for Eastern Africa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Morning, everyone. My name is Mercy Mwongeli. I work with UNESCO Regional Office for Eastern Africa. Glad to be here as well.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mercy Mugambi from Kise.
Good morning, everyone. I am Claudia Lagat from Usawa Agenda. Glad to be here. Thank you.
I'm Jambo. John Arotich is my name. I work with UNICEF. Thank you.
Mimi naitwa Kipturgo Ruben, Minister of Education, Regional Director, Nairobi Region.
So we are happy that we are now increasing in terms of the numbers, and I want to hand over to Anne to take us to the next session.
Let's appreciate Mary. Let's appreciate the presenters once again. So the next session We are going to be led by Dr. Joyce Kiluma. Sorry, I want to make sure I get it correct. From the Kenya Education Management Institute on synthesis. Just trying to recap what we have done from yesterday. What are the key takeaways that you have done from yesterday? That would be what should be leading us. Welcome.
Thank you, Anne. So good morning. We've sat for so long, isn't it? We need to do something. We've had presentations since yesterday and part of this morning. And it's the high time now we put whatever we have learned into action. So I'm meant to understand that there are people who are online. Do you do the charts? I think that is in order, isn't it? So when you look at your agenda, we have 4 groups, or we have 4 thematic areas. The most important thing that we need to do now is we put ourselves in groups based on our areas of interest. Is that so? Is that so? Do you have the agenda? You have the agenda. There are 4 thematic areas. The first group would be in the early learning and foundational learning, and that area we were taken through yesterday. The second group is on inclusion of all children in learning. We also did it yesterday. Teacher policy implementation is group 3, and group 4 is on teacher professional development and mentorship, and those 2 areas we were taken through today. We are together up to there. So we are going to put ourselves in groups based on our areas of interests. And now I want us to look at the 3 questions. Look at what is there. What is the emerging evidence? That is the first question. That is what you're going to deal with now. There are key issues. What were the findings? Were there successes? Were there challenges? Were there gaps? Threads in all this discussion? That is the first question. The second question is on how do we promote the use of this evidence? And you remember what Professor told us yesterday, that we have a lot of critical findings in our shelves, but unfortunately we are using intuition to develop policies. Is that what we are told? So then the question is, how do we address the second question? That now we are moving from evidence to implementation. Then the third question will be, what are the policy entry points? We have opportunities so that we can be able now to move from referring to as evidence to implementation. We move away from making policies using the intuition to using the critical findings that are lying in our shelves. Is it clear now? So for the discussion for the 4 groups, 35 minutes. And then we'll have the 25 minutes for the presentations. What does that mean? When you go to those groups, please identify a secretary who will do your presentation. Because after the discussion, then you are going to go back to the plenary for the presentations. So get a secretary to do the work, and you'll also do your presentation. Now let's look at group 1, early learning and foundational learning. By a show of hands, how many want to be in that group? Who will help me to count so that we can know if there are some groups that have fewer people, you have to force some of us to join them. Someone to help me? Sorry, yeah. Yeah, the first group. Please tell us and give us numbers. That is early learning and foundational learning. Please put up your hand so that we can be counted. Those are 6. 6. Second group, inclusion of all children in learning. Count for me those ones. Those are three. Please put up your hand. Three. Group 4, teacher policy implementation. Those are how many? Those are 4. The last one, teacher professional development and mentorship. Are there people who are not raising up their hands? I'm getting a bit worried. Those are 7. So the least one has 3. So group 1, how many? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Floor. Is it possible we first go to those groups and from there we can be able to balance all of them, isn't it? So group 1, can we come here? This table. Sorry? Group 1 here. Is that okay? Let me have group 2 here. Group 2 here. All right, let's move there. Then group 3, we can have it here. 3 here, and then 4 here. That's okay, let's first move there. 4 here. Group 4 is at the back there. Yeah. Let us move. This is group 2, isn't it? Group 2. Group 3 here. And group 4 here. 4, yes. So the ones online, just join any group and you put all the revelations in the charts. All right. This is group 1, isn't it? Group 1. Good. Please, let's settle down. We finish up. We have no time. So you're how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're 4. And this group has 4 also. It looks like there are people who had not raised up their hands, eh? But it's okay now. I think now we are okay, isn't it? So look at the 3 questions and you address all of them. Get a secretary who will do the presentation on behalf of your group. So I think all groups are settled. You have 30 minutes from now We have projected the questions and the groups.
Yes, maybe that would be one way. If we can ask the Troika members of EDPCG whether they'd be willing to form a subgroup within the EDPCG that's focused specifically, a working group specifically, then those people with the evidence can be working alongside the right point of contact within ministry and the other sagas to then help move the evidence forward.
My name is Kiki. Sorry, I just came today and I'm trying to put everything together, but I think I can contribute. I work in the Ministry of Education. There's one more waiting.
Excuse me. We are done with the discussion. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hello, hello, hello. Excuse me, teams. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap thrice. Group 1. Group 1. Group 1. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me twice. Thrice. Now, we are done. The time is up for discussions. And you need to break for tea. I'm told this hotel works with schedules. Yesterday we missed tea. So please let's go for tea for about 15 minutes. We come back and do the presentations. Is that okay? Thank you. Who pray for tea? Alright, let's give thanks for tea. Dear Lord, we come before you this morning. We want to thank you for your grace, for your mercy, for your favor. We thank you for the conversations that we are having. Continue to order our steps, our thoughts, and our discussions. As we break for tea, bless it. May it nourish our body. And when we come back, we shall not forget to give you thanks and glory for the day. In Jesus' name we ask. 15 minutes, then we come back.